Imagine standing before a towering medieval cathedral, its stone walls echoing tales of centuries past. Now, consider how many modern buildings will endure for 500 years. The answer might surprise you. Today we're diving into the secrets of medieval architecture, exploring why these ancient structures have outlasted empires and wars. From humble homes to grand cathedrals, these buildings have stood the test of time without the aid of modern tools. Join us as we uncover the materials and techniques that made medieval construction so remarkable and discover what we can learn from these methods today. Ready to step back in time? Let's go. The durability of medieval buildings. Let's step back in time to the 12th century. Picture a small village in Europe where the entire community comes together to build a church. No cranes, no cement mixers, just simple tools and a shared vision. Fast forward to today, and that same church still stands, its walls whispering stories of centuries gone by. How did they do it? Let's dive into the secrets of medieval durability. Fast forward to today, that very same church still stands, its walls whispering stories of centuries gone by. How did they do it? What made these buildings so incredibly durable? Homes, built to last with local materials. Medieval homes weren't just shelters, they were built to endure. Imagine a family gathering timber from the forest, shaping stones from the quarry, and mixing clay from the riverbank. These weren't just homes, they were fortresses of survival, built to last for generations. It's like the original DIY project, but way more durable. These materials weren't just cheap and accessible, they were incredibly durable. Timber frames provided flexibility, stone foundations offered stability, and clay infill acted as natural insulation. These homes weren't just built for one generation, they were built for many. Research insight. Medieval homes often used wattle and daub, woven wood and clay for walls, which were not only sturdy but also resistant to weather. The use of local materials reduced costs and ensured the structures blended with their environment. Churches, the grandeur that defied time. Now, let's talk about the crown jewel of medieval architecture, the church. These weren't just places of worship, they were symbols of faith, wealth, and craftsmanship. Think of them as the medieval version of skyscrapers, but with way more soul and durability. How did they build such towering masterpieces without modern tools? Let's find out. Built with towering stone walls, intricate carvings, and vaulted ceilings, medieval churches were designed to inspire awe and to last. The secret? Precision. Every stone was carefully cut and placed, creating a structure that could withstand the test of time and the forces of nature. Research insight. Churches like Notre Dame in Paris, built in the 12th century, used flying buttresses to distribute weight and support tall walls, a revolutionary technique at the time. The use of limestone and careful craftsmanship ensured these buildings could endure for centuries. Barns. Functional yet timeless. Even the simplest structures like barns were built to last. These weren't just storage spaces, they were the backbone of medieval agriculture. Imagine a barn built in the 13th century still standing today, its timber beams weathered but strong. It's like the original sustainable architecture, but way ahead of its time. Built with thick timber frames and thatched roofs, medieval barns were designed to withstand heavy loads, harsh weather, and the wear and tear of daily use. Some of these barns are still in use today, a testament to their incredible design. Research insight. The Cressing Temple barns in England, built in the 13th century, are among the oldest surviving timber-framed barns in the world. Their design allowed for easy repairs and adaptations over time, ensuring their longevity. Think about it. What would it take for a modern building to last 500 years? Could we replicate the durability of medieval structures today? Or have we sacrificed longevity for speed and convenience? Let's explore that next. Materials and techniques. Imagine building a house without nails, cement, or power tools. Sounds impossible, right? But medieval builders did it, and they did it so well that some of their structures are still standing today. How? Let's dive into the materials and techniques that made medieval architecture so revolutionary. Wattle and daub, the art of simplicity. One of the most common techniques was wattle and daub, the medieval version of eco-friendly insulation. Picture workers weaving thin branches into a lattice, then coating it with clay and straw. It's like a natural, biodegradable wall that's both sturdy and sustainable. Could this be the future of green building? Then they'd coat it with a mixture of clay, straw, and sometimes even animal dung. Sounds strange, but this combination was lightweight, flexible, and surprisingly durable. The wattle provided structure while the daub acted as insulation and weatherproofing. It was cheap, easy to repair, and perfect for building walls in homes and barns. Research insight. Wattle and daub was widely used in medieval Europe because it was affordable and effective. The clay mixture dried to form a hard, protective layer, while the straw added strength and prevented cracking. This technique was so reliable that it was used for centuries, even in harsh climates. Think about it, could we use something similar today for eco-friendly, low-cost housing? The answer might surprise you. Timber framing, the strength of wood. Now, let's talk about timber framing, the medieval version of IKEA furniture, but way sturdier. Imagine massive wooden beams carefully cut and fitted together like a giant puzzle. These structures weren't just strong, they were flexible, allowing buildings to shift without collapsing. It's like the original earthquake-resistant design. These frames weren't just held together by nails, they used precise joints and pegs to create structures that could withstand heavy loads in harsh weather. Timber framing was used for everything from homes to grand halls, and its flexibility allowed buildings to shift slightly without collapsing, making them incredibly resilient. Research insight. Timber-framed buildings, like the Wealden Hall houses in England, are still standing today. The secret to their durability was the use of seasoned oak, which is resistant to rot and insects, and the ingenious joinery techniques that distributed weight evenly. Here's a fun fact. Some medieval timber-framed buildings are still in use today, over 500 years later. Could modern wooden buildings achieve the same longevity? Stone masonry, the gold standard. For churches and castles, stone masonry was the gold standard. Imagine workers cutting each stone by hand, shaping it to fit perfectly with the next. It's like the original 3D puzzle, but with way higher stakes. The result? Buildings that have stood for centuries, defying time and nature. No mortar? No problem. Medieval masons relied on precision, placing each stone so carefully that the weight of the structure held it all together. This technique created walls that could withstand fires, wars, and centuries of weathering. Research insight. The Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris and the Tower of London are prime examples of medieval stone masonry. The use of limestone and sandstone, combined with techniques like ashlar masonry, smooth, finely cut stones, ensured these buildings could endure for centuries. Here's a question. If medieval builders could create such precise stone structures without modern tools, what's stopping us from replicating their methods today? Medieval versus modern construction. Imagine this. A medieval castle stands tall after 800 years, while a modern apartment building starts crumbling after just 50. What's the difference? Is it the materials, the techniques, or something deeper? Let's put medieval and modern construction head-to-head and see who wins the durability test. Is it the materials, the techniques, or something deeper? Today, we're putting medieval and modern construction head-to-head to uncover why some buildings last centuries and others don't. Materials. Natural versus synthetic. Medieval builders worked with what nature provided: stone, timber, clay, and lime. These materials weren't just durable, they were sustainable. Stone resisted fire and weathering, timber provided flexibility, and clay acted as natural insulation. Fast forward to today, and modern construction relies heavily on synthetic materials like concrete, steel, and plastic. While these materials are strong and versatile, they often degrade faster due to corrosion, chemical reactions, and environmental stress. Research insight. Medieval materials like limestone and oak timber have proven their durability over centuries. In contrast, modern materials like reinforced concrete can suffer from carbonation and rusting rebar, leading to structural issues over time. Here's a question to ponder. If medieval materials were so effective, why don't we use them more often today? Is it about cost, convenience, or something else? Techniques. Craftsmanship versus speed. Medieval construction was a labor of love. Builders spent years, sometimes decades, perfecting their craft. Every stone was cut by hand, every joint carefully fitted, and every detail meticulously planned. The result? Buildings that could last for centuries. Modern construction, on the other hand, is all about speed and efficiency. Prefabricated parts, assembly lines, and power tools allow us to build skyscrapers in months, but at what cost? Often, it's longevity. Research insight. Medieval techniques like ashlar masonry, smooth, precisely cut stones, and timber framing required skill and patience but created structures that could withstand the test of time. Modern methods, while efficient, often prioritize speed over durability, leading to issues like cracking foundations and leaky roofs. Think about it. Would you rather live in a house built to last 500 years or one built in 5 months? The choice might not be as simple as it seems in maintenance designed to last versus planned obsolescence. Medieval buildings were designed with maintenance in mind. Stone walls could be repointed, timber frames could be repaired, and roofs could be rethatched. These structures were meant to evolve over time, adapting to new needs and technologies. Modern buildings, however, are often designed with a limited lifespan. Planned obsolescence means that many structures are built to be replaced, not maintained. The result? More waste, higher costs, and fewer buildings that stand the test of time. Research insight. The concept of planned obsolescence in modern construction is driven by economic factors, but it comes at an environmental cost. In contrast, medieval buildings like York Minster in England have been continuously maintained and adapted for over 900 years. Here's a thought. If medieval builders could create structures that lasted centuries with simple tools, why can't we do the same with all our modern technology? What's holding us back? Why some medieval structures have outlasted modern buildings? Imagine a medieval barn still standing after 700 years, its timber beams weathered but strong, its walls still holding firm. Now, think about a modern warehouse built just 50 years ago already showing cracks, rust, and decay. What's the secret behind the incredible longevity of medieval structures? Let's uncover the 3 key reasons why these ancient buildings have outlasted so many modern ones. Quality over quantity. The art of patience. Medieval builders didn't rush. They took their time, sometimes decades, to ensure every stone was perfectly cut, every beam expertly fitted, and every detail meticulously planned. There were no shortcuts, just a commitment to quality. This focus on craftsmanship meant that medieval buildings weren't just built to last a lifetime. They were built to last centuries. Research insight. Structures like the Lincoln Cathedral in England, built over 200 years, showcase the painstaking attention to detail that went into medieval construction. The result? A building that has stood for over 80 years. Here's a question. In our fast-paced world, could we ever return to this level of patience and craftsmanship? Or are we too focused on speed and efficiency? Adaptability. Designed to evolve. Medieval buildings weren't just static structures, they were designed to adapt. Stone walls could be repointed, timber frames could be repaired, and roofs could be rethatched. These buildings evolved over time, serving new purposes and meeting new needs. This adaptability is a big reason why so many medieval structures are still standing and still in use today. Research insight. The Cressing Temple barns in England, built in the 13th century, are still used for agricultural purposes today. Their design allowed for easy repairs and modifications, ensuring their survival through centuries of change. Did you know some medieval barns are still in use today? It's a testament to their incredible design and adaptability. Natural materials, built to withstand the elements. Medieval builders relied on natural materials like stone, timber, and clay. These materials weren't just durable, they were sustainable. Stone resisted fire and weathering, timber provided flexibility, and clay acted as natural insulation. Unlike modern synthetic materials, which can degrade over time, these natural resources only grew stronger with age. Research insight. The use of limestone in medieval cathedrals and oak timber in barns ensured these structures could withstand harsh weather, fires, and even wars. Modern materials, while strong, often degrade due to environmental factors like corrosion and chemical reactions. Think about it. If medieval builders could create such durable structures with natural materials, why don't we use more of them today? Is it about cost, convenience, or something else? Lessons from medieval architecture. What if I told you that the key to solving some of today's biggest challenges like sustainability, quality, and community lies in the past? Medieval builders didn't have modern technology, but they had something even more powerful: wisdom. Let's explore the timeless lessons we can learn from medieval architecture and how they can inspire us to build a better future. Sustainability. Masters of eco-friendly building. Medieval builders were the original sustainability experts. They used local materials like stone, timber, and clay, which meant less transportation and lower carbon footprints. They also minimized waste. Every piece of wood, every stone, was used thoughtfully. The result? Structures that not only lasted centuries but also harmonized with their environment. In a world grappling with climate change, perhaps it's time we took a page from their book. Research Insight. Medieval buildings like York Minster and Cressing Temple barns were constructed using locally sourced materials, reducing environmental impact. Modern architects are now revisiting these principles, with concepts like biophilic design and sustainable architecture gaining traction. Here's a question. If medieval builders could create eco-friendly structures without modern technology, why can't we do the same today? What's stopping us? Craftsmanship. The art of quality over quantity. Medieval buildings weren't just structures, they were works of art. Every beam was carved with care, every stone placed with precision. There was no rushing, no cutting corners. The result? Buildings that have stood for centuries. In today's world of mass production and quick fixes, perhaps we need to slow down and rediscover the value of true craftsmanship. Research Insight. The intricate carvings and precise stonework of Notre Dame Cathedral and Lincoln Cathedral are testaments to the skill and dedication of medieval craftsmen. Modern movements like slow architecture are beginning to embrace these principles, emphasizing quality and longevity over speed and profit. Think about it. Would you rather live in a house built with care and precision, or one thrown up in a matter of weeks? The choice might not be as simple as it seems. Community involvement. Building together. Medieval construction wasn't just about buildings, it was about people. Building a church or barn was a community effort. Everyone had a role to play, from the master mason to the youngest apprentice. This sense of shared purpose and collaboration created not just structures, but strong, connected communities. In a world that often feels divided, perhaps this is a lesson we need more than ever. Research Insight. The construction of Chartres Cathedral in France involved the entire community, from wealthy patrons to local laborers. This collective effort not only built a magnificent structure, but also strengthened social bonds and community pride. Here's a thought. What if we approached modern construction projects with the same sense of community and shared purpose? Could we build not just better buildings, but better societies? From the humble wattle and daub homes to the towering stone cathedrals, medieval builders knew something we often forget today: how to create structures that stand the test of time. Their focus on quality, craftsmanship, and natural materials has left us with buildings that have weathered centuries of storms, wars, and time itself. If you found this journey through medieval architecture as fascinating as I did, don't forget to hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe for more deep dives into the past. Let's keep the conversation going. What's the oldest building you've ever visited? Drop your stories in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Their focus on quality over quantity, craftsmanship over speed, and natural materials over synthetic ones has left us with buildings that have weathered centuries of storms, wars, and time itself. These ancient structures aren't just relics of the past, they're lessons for the future. If you found this journey through medieval architecture as fascinating as I did, don't forget to hit the like button, share this video with someone who loves history or architecture, and subscribe to this channel for more deep dives into the past. Let's keep the conversation going. What's the oldest building you've ever visited? Drop your stories in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. As we wrap up, let's take one last look at the incredible legacy of medieval architecture. These buildings aren't just stones and timber. They're stories, memories, and a testament to human ingenuity. So, the next time you walk past an old church, a castle, or even a barn, take a moment to appreciate the centuries of history it holds. Who knows? Maybe it'll inspire you to build something that lasts just as long.